Hello students, once again welcome to new session of class 9 NCERT first chapter motion, and this is your channel, this is our channel Physi Dive, and this is your teacher alexi rajan. So we are just diving straight to the class, so let's dive in. If an object is moving from one point to another, then the total distance or the total path covered by that particular object is known as what? The distance. The total path covered is known as what? Distance. Whether this distance is a scalar or a vector quantity. We know that thing scalar quantity means any physical quantity which is having a magnitude and there is no specified direction, then we call it as a scalar quantity, whereas any physical quantity with a specified magnitude as well as a direction is known as what? A vector quantity. So we need to know that thing distance is a scalar or a vector quantity. Here you can see the car is moving from one point to another irrespective of the path. So I can say that thing, yes, here is an object there. If I want to move from point A to B, then I can use different paths there, right? This is one path, this is another path. I can move like this, like this, like this, and come to this particular point. There's a third path. Now I can move like this to point B, and this is a fourth path. Here you can see, irrespective of the direction, I can reach from one point to another. That means there is no specified direction in moving or in traversing a particular path. So we can call that the distance is a scalar quantity. Now the third point that is to be noted is that whether distance is and what is a SI unit of distance in MK system. I should say the system of units also. In MK system, the SI unit of distance is meter. Meter is a SI unit. So this is all about distance. So the total path covered, and it is a scalar quantity, and then it is the SI unit of distance is meter. When you study about displacement, there is a small change. Here is a change. Displacement means it is a change in position. It is not the path covered. It is what was the initial change and what is the final change. This is what displacement states. Now, it is a change in position, and the second one is that whether it is a scalar or a vector quantity. It is definitely a vector quantity. Now coming to this particular, why I am saying a vector quantity? Because here in the previous case you have seen there are different paths there. This is a first path, this is the second path, this is the third path, and this is the fourth path. Here, if I want to find out the shortest distance, then I can find out from this particular point what is the shortest distance. Obviously, you can see the shortest distance is path 4. Why? Because it is a straight line. You cannot find any other shortest distance other than this path 4. You can see all the other path is having a larger distance, that is it is moving like this, it is moving like this, and this is moving like this. So definitely a straight line will be the shortest distance, that is an object's position is defined there. Imagine this is a object there at particular origin A, and with respect to this particular origin, the object was at A in time t1. After some time, you can see that the object has moved to this much at point B, and now this point B can be defined as it is this much distance from the origin. With respect to origin and with respect to time, you are defining the displacement or change in position. It should have a direction. So it should have a direction. That means obviously in order to get a shortest distance, it will have only one particular direction. So definitely the direction comes into the direction has a very important role to play there. So we can say that thing it is having both magnitude as well as the direction. So it is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. Now the third one is that what is the SI unit in MK system? Definitely the MK system, the SI unit of displacement. Here, even though it is change in position, we can say that the length is measured there. So we can say meter is the SI unit of displacement. So I hope that you got the point, both the displacement as well as distance. What is the difference between distance and displacement? Now we are going directly to the motion. So what do you mean by movement of a particle, movement of a body, and motion of a body? Motion are of two types, that is uniform motion and non-uniform motion. So what do you mean by uniform motion? Uniform motion means, consider a scenario. Here, if you observe clearly, you can see that each 2 seconds the body is changing its position 2 meters. Means they're covering a displacement of 2 meters in 2 seconds. So here you can see the movement of the body is uniform throughout. So I can say clearly, that is, if an object is moving or if an object is covering equal displacement in equal interval of time, then we can say it is having a uniform motion. Whereas if you consider another scenario, here you can see that each interval is of 2 seconds. Here also, in the previous case also, each interval is of 2 seconds. But just observe the displacement here. Here you can see the first 2 seconds, it is changing its position to 2 meters with respect to the origin. Then next 2 seconds, it is moving from 2 to 6, that is 4 meters is moved, right? It has changed to 4 meters, right? It has changed within that 2 seconds, it is changing its displacement to 4 meters. Then the next 2 seconds, you can see that again only 1 meter. That means there is a variation. There is no uniformity in the change in displacement in equal interval of time. Then we can say such type of movement or motion is known as what? Non-uniform motion. So we can say clearly that is, a non-uniform motion is defined as when an object is, or when a body is moving unequal displacement in equal interval of time, then we can call it as a non-uniform. So that's it for today's class. In the next class, we'll deal with a very important topics, that is velocity, speed, and what is the difference between speed and velocities. And then we'll study about uniform speed, uniform velocity, non-uniform velocity, and acceleration. There also we'll study about uniform acceleration, non-uniform accelerations. So it's very important topics coming. So stay tuned. So we'll see in the next class. So we need your support in the form of like, share, comment, as well as subscription. So see you in the next class. This is our channel, Physi Dive. Goodbye.